The Shin is a Hebrew letter, which is in one of its meanings is man. So the Hebrew letter is like 3 lines. People describe it as different things, but essentially body, soul, spirit. So it's essentially the name of man. So man being in the center of the name of God, Yod Hey Vav Hey, and in a sense, if you take all the vowels out, in a sense, you're looking at sort of the name of Jesus, Yeshua, where man is in the center of it. That's the sort of the usual way people look at it and describe it. I think whether that's come by revelation, by personal experience, I don't know. I obviously the name of God itself, you know, I always think of Yod Hey Vav Hey, you know, which has got 4 letters, as man and God together in government, you know, so that in itself, with the 4 faces of God, lion, ox, eagle, man, there's the man face, which I think includes us, but we're also representative of all the 4 faces of God. Therefore, we should be a royal priesthood, priest and king in the realms of heaven, outworking that on the earth, aligning and converging heaven and earth as oracle and legislator. So I think there's multiple different sort of ways of looking at the name of God. I don't think you're going to find it specifically in the Bible, other than if you're looking at maybe the name of Jesus or the name of Yeshua and how that might relate to that name with man being in the center of it. I think even looking at the name of God, obviously, if you're looking at Father, Son, and Spirit, how do they have 4 faces? Well, I think that's because they've included us in the government. And this is more of a governmental name rather than a personal name of Father, Son, or Spirit, or other names that represent more of the sort of the personality of God. I always see this as representing the government of God, which is where I first encountered it, really, in the ark, engaging the ark of the presence of God. That's my first experience of it. I didn't really get it by study or anything. I just experienced 4 faces there one day, and that then connected with me when I started to remember that I was hearing a sound and a set of 4 notes, a frequency of 4 notes, like a chord, which represented lion, ox, eagle, man as I experienced it. That was my encounter with it. So I couldn't tell you who first started saying Yod Hey Shin Vav Hey, probably Ian Clayton, but then maybe that he got that from Dr. O, or I don't know, no idea. But I know it's a sort of common term that is used around. The main thing is that we are in the name, and we practically step into that name, and we function in that name as an individual within the name of God, in the power of the eternity of that name, like in the name of Jesus. I guess there's been an extrapolation from in the name of Jesus to, well, what does it mean to actually be in the name of Jesus or in the name of Yeshua? You know, some people really struggle with talking about Jesus because, well, you know, there's no J in the English language or whatever before this date, whatever. I just don't think God is particularly bothered. Jesus is particularly bothered one way or another. It's communication and relationship, not, you know, crossing every T and dotting every I. And, you know, it's not as if he's not going to speak to us if we pronounce his name differently, you know. So I would much, he always talks to me in English. And, you know, when the Father's talked to me about Jesus and the Son, he's used Jesus. He didn't use Yeshua. So I'm happy to go along with that. If others like to use the word Yeshua, great, fine. I don't think he's going to be offended either way. I think as long as we're talking to him and listening to him, I think that's the important part. But I do like to step into that name and engage within the four faces and begin to function there, carrying the sort of the representation of each of those aspects within the order of Melchizedek, you know, of Lion, Ox, Eagle, Man, in that way. But it's more something to be experienced than something to try and understand theoretically, I think. Hi everyone, we're starting a Patreon page, patreon.com/freedomarc, and we would like to invite you to partner with us in taking the message of God's unconditional love, limitless grace, triumphant mercy to a bigger global audience.